We are going to kick this thing off here in 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo!
Big Apple, 3 a.m.
All right, 3 a.m. already, even though it doesn't feel that way. First stage of the game is no slouch. There is a lot of inputs happening in this stage. So each one of these enemies is going to have a little bit of a different life total. These purple foot soldiers here are the standard enemy of the game. They each have 16 hit points. So Conster is going to try to work on a lot of his combos to make sure that they die without having to take too many extra hits. This whole run is all about being able to group the enemies together and keep yourself moving and scrolling the screen as fast as possible to avoid extra enemy spawns.
Oh man, it looks like he's making some quick work of these current foot soldiers. Now they're starting to gang tackle, which is the Foot Clan's favorite method of attack. They aren't one for being fair in their fights.
Conster making nice use of the terrain around him, using that explosive barrel to clear out some enemies. This slam throw here is a quick way to one-shot a lot of the different enemies. There's only a couple that are immune to being killed in one shot with that. But for the most part, if you can keep the enemies close together and slam them, it's going to get everything out of the way in a hurry and keep you safe in the process. Just about through this first stage here. Got a couple more packs to get through before our first boss, Baxter Stockman.
Oh man, I'm glad he got that pizza. I was getting really hungry standing there. Oof! Looks like the fly is getting the better of him.
Oh man. Now this is one place where Conster can really make up a little bit of ground with Donatello. That strong aerial attack is going to come into his favor. Using a couple of his specials, he can actually get through any of Baxter's attacks with that using the invincibility frames to get through that special. So really recovering nicely from that fight.
Oh man, he got the best of that pest.
Alley Cat Blues.
Well, talk about a very tight-knit level coming up here. I don't know. I'm starting to get claustrophobic with this alleyway. I think it's going to be an advantage of these foot soldiers who just love to gang up. But you know what? It looks like Conster's going to go ahead and continue to use the slam method here because you know what? How do you deal with a group of people? Just slam them into each other.
Absolutely. You can cover a lot of ground that way. Donatello's special, too, covers a huge amount of space. You can see he actually charges forward a little bit. He's invincible the entire time, and he's actually doing damage all the way back to the end of his staff. It's really crazy.
Yeah, he might actually almost be the ideal turtle for this specific area.
You know what? If you're going for safety and you're going to be playing this thing in single player, I often would pick Donatello. His weapon's got a great range on it, and he definitely does a good amount of damage with his standard attack.
I always feel smarter when I play as Donatello too. Is that just me?
No, that's actually a fact. You get smarter by playing Donatello.
Goodness, I need all I can get too. Especially when you got these robots with whips for their chosen choice of a...
I think the scientific term for them is jerk.
Oh my goodness, you know what? You are quite accurate today. This is why I like working with you, Dark. You come to work prepared.
Conster making use of his dash special there. That's actually one of the things we like to call a free special. It does all the damage of your normal standard special attack, but you cover a huge amount of ground and you get to do a bunch of damage at the same time. Great for groups of enemies. Conster pinning Metalhead against the wall here, using the invincibility he gets from his special. Ooh, got wrapped up a little bit there in the corner. Knocked him down a peg. Conster's right back into action.
The way that Metalhead snuck that attack in there really got me thinking that it reminded me of my toy when I was growing up. I would always step on that Metalhead action figure, and man, did it hurt.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Here's actually an excellent time for any donations that would want to be read off. Nothing special is going to happen for now besides maybe collecting a little bit of bonus points because it's all coming down to the boss fight for this particular.
All right, I don't have anything to read, like any particular donation to read just yet, but I guess I could just talk about who we are. This is Bring 'em Over 3. We are raising funds to bring Ohon, Becco, and Prissy over to AGDQ. Becco and Ohon are both from Japan, and Prissy is from Germany, and they're all three of them absolutely fantastic NES speedrunners, and Mega Man speedrunners in particular. So, yeah. Just wonderful people as well. Just like, yeah. Love those guys, and I want to see them at AGDQ.
All right, well, for those of you that don't know, these are actually a character from the TV series. These are pizza monsters. What happens when you leave your leftover pizza in the fridge for too long and then try to cook it with too high of radiation?
Pizza time.
Who leaves leftover pizza in the fridge that long?
Animals, I tell you. Animals.
Temptation is not to be taken lightly. We're going into the Rat King fight here. This guy comes in two phases. He's got this missile shooting phase, and then he's going to back up and try to nail us with water mines. Conster's making use of his nice range and some specials there to take him out really quickly. And that is the end of our first auto-scroll. We're going into one of the trickier stages in the game, the Technodrome here. Big stopping point for a casual run for your first playthrough. This really starts to throw a lot of extra hassles at you. We'll see how Conster deals with it.
Yeah, the big issue I've noticed anytime I've played at this level is just the array of different enemies you're going to see from beginning to end.
Bringing back those roadkill Rodneys, we actually have the first appearance of the Mausers in this stage. We've got a lot of these Bluefoot soldiers who have a lot of extra life, and their first appearance of these orange guys here as well, so definitely mixing things up a little bit. Starts to throw some bigger groups of enemies at you too, so Conster doing a really nice job of keeping space, making sure you've got plenty of room to work without getting grouped up on too much. Making really quick work of this Technodrome here.
Ooh, good. You got the pizza. That's like a true turtle. And that's why Conster was chosen today to represent Turtle Nation.
You can't let pizza go to waste.
I mean, I tell you, you know exactly what happens. You're going to get some pizza monsters coming at you. All right, look at this. Look at all fancy with the bomb pizza. A special move that only lasts about 9.5 seconds. But it kills anything in sight.
Alright, coming up on the Taka and Razar fight here. This is a really tricky fight here, only being a mini-boss, basically. He's going to try to juggle these two guys back and forth using his dash special. Hopefully he can keep them locked up in this little loop here. Very nice job from Conster there. If that gets out of hand, they can group up on either side of you. They've each got attacks that can lock you in place.
Just wow. What a way of locking those down. That's not easy just to do that with both of those guys. They have attacks that as soon as you get out of sync, they will make you pay. And he did not give him an inch. That was really well done. Uh-oh, not the tight spaces again. I don't do well in these. I'm a slightly larger individual, so when you start thinking about elevators and alleyways, that's not my place that I want to be. But it looks like Conster's handling himself quite nicely.
Yeah, with all of the stops this elevator makes, if you don't like the long, slow ride here, you're in for a real doozy of one.
Uh-oh. That's your last chance to see Mausers, folks. Unfortunate, but don't worry. We got some other enemies that are going to come up in future levels that are quite exciting, too.
There's no shortage of robots here in the future or the past.
Very as Doc Brown would say.
Great Scott.
All right. This is a really, really, really cool mechanic for a boss. Whenever I played this, it took me all the way back to the Battletoads days, where guess what? You get to throw enemies at the screen. I don't know. As a kid, this was like the most exciting thing for me.
This was such a cool way to do this boss fight, too. One of the big differences between this and the arcade version, actually, they just kind of stepped it up a little bit and put a nice twist on what you can already do with the game.
Yeah, my preferred version actually is the Super Nintendo one, because it just has just a little bit more refinement in it, even though the arcade version allows for so much more action on the screen at once.
Really clean fight there from Conster. Not getting too wrapped up and fighting off too many of the extra guys, just throwing them right at the face of Shredder there, and he's going to pay us by sending us way back in time, and we are heading to the dinosaur times for everybody's friend Slash and all of his cronies. Hopefully it doesn't get too ugly. This is one of the nastier bosses in this game. One of the best reasons to learn the speed run, in my opinion, because he is just such a jerk when he starts running around.
Yeah, right now, the beginning of the level is going to kind of lull you to false sense of security, where you're like, this isn't so bad. I've fought these guys before. They're slowly coming in on slow-flying pterodactyl. That's all right. No big deal. As soon as you enter this cave, you're going to learn why the prehistoric times are long gone. You don't want to see what's up there.
Yeah, once the actual ground starts fighting against you, you know you're in for some serious business. These axe guys do a ton of damage if they get around you, and they have a ton of health, so they're a very dangerous enemy, trying to keep them off screen as much as possible. And then we have our first appearance of the Stone Warriors here, who, as you can see, can just charge through anything and have the most health of any standard enemy in the game.
Yeah, and sadly, they will not succumb to being slammed or thrown at the screen, so they make you work for trying to take on those Stone Warriors, which are historically accurate from way back in 25 million BC. Ooh, look at this! Come on, use it! I love seeing this thing on display. Bomb pizza, let's go.
Using the bomb pizza on the bomb guys. Bomb ninjas having one job to do and one only. They throw a single bomb and then they leave. It is a pattern with many of the foot soldiers in this game. They try only as hard as they have to.
It's a thankless job, let me tell you. Their role is to throw one singular bomb, and they do it very well. And no one thanks them at the end of the day.
If they're going to travel all the way to the past to do it, then you know what? Good on them.
Exactly. Thank you, guys. At least you understand. All right, though. We're not quite to the boss yet. We still have to deal with some more of these historically accurate Stone Warriors. I actually come from a long lineage of Stone Warriors.
Conster taking no grief from them, just using his dash kick until the cows come home, making real quick work of them, getting into the Slash fight. He's going to try to lock him into this shoulder kick combo until Slash is no more. Ooh, and he's breaking out there a little bit. Now, this boss has a couple of attacks, and his goal is to not let you get behind him, because he can block, and he will block forever and ever. But Conster was able to pick that one up quick.
For any casual runner, you have to be so excited for what you just saw right there, because that was 2 escapes by Slash, because using the slowest turtle on Donatello does not give you any chance to realistically keep up with Slash. That's what Raph does a good job of, but let me tell you, Donatello and Conster work that turtle.
Getting into another really tricky stage here. Skull and Crossbones starts throwing in even more stage hazards here. All these little knots you see on the deck are loose floorboards that will come up and hit you in the face. So, doesn't matter how good that combo is you've got, you get hit by a loose floorboard, you are stopping dead in your tracks.
So very similar to the bomb, the single bomb guys. We have a single arrow guys as well. They like to come in, fire once, and be done for the day. Check please.
The nightmare of many turtlers, these yellow frisbee guys, are the biggest nuisance of all. The only enemy that can combo you by themselves without remorse, and they will if you let them get on either side of you. It's just so terrible. And the deadliest man in the high seas, we've got Cannonball Guy here. I would swear you can't tell if he's reading inputs or reading your mind. It's a terrifying sight for anybody.
Yeah, he knows your greatest fears, which are getting smashed by a oversized cannonball. Ooh, look, he's tantalizing me here. He's not quite using that bomb pizza. I wonder what he's waiting for. What does he have in mind?
Saving it for a special occasion here. These last couple purple guys. Doesn't want to tangle with any of the bomb guys.
No, leave me alone, he says. I have a family, a wife and kids.
Well, he knows what they're thinking. They're only going to go as far as they have to throw that bomb.
Excellent. My goodness. He made those Yellowfoot soldiers look way too easy, folks. That was something special. Ooh, uh-oh. They're circling them. Oh, boy.
Oh,
That was
no.
a heavy shoulder. That was a heavy shoulder. This guy's been working
Gonna
on
try to regroup here.
Oh, excellent.
Alright, this boss fight's another tricky one. Fun fact, you only have to fight one of these guys to finish off the boss fight in general. Once you take out Rocksteady, he will go ahead and take care of Bebop for you. So we just try to focus all our attention on that. Conster making use of that extra pizza there in his full life. He's just trying to use his special attack to get the job done. Ooh, taking one quick jab there from Rocksteady.
Not surprising. This enemy combination is extremely annoying when it comes to their timing if you aren't able to lock him down. And he did a great job with a very slow turtle. All right, let's start to move forward in time once again. We're getting closer and closer to our year, but we're not quite there yet.
Alright, we're into Bury My Shell at Wounded Knee. This is another one of my personal favorites. It's a very, very fast-paced stage. You can tell by just how fast those trees are moving behind us. Conster making pretty good use of the barrel at the beginning of the stage to take out the first several groups of enemies. He's just going to make his way through here. So kind of like the Alley Cat Blues, we have a little bit of a narrower stage, but we have lots of good chances to group these enemies together, and Conster's doing a great job of that so far. Keeping everything locked to either side of the screen, so he gives himself plenty of time to move.
Those guys were hidden.
Oh,
he kept his wits about him.
Ooh, and he decked him.
Ouch. I tell you, anybody who can beat me up with a tuning fork, they are the better man.
I don't care how many friends they have. That's bold going into battle with a tuning fork.
Absolutely. Look at those rock soldiers being
Keeping them off screen.
That was awesome. All right, one more guy
This guy
before
just
he
wanted to
advances.
hang out.
Woo! Using his environment to his advantage. Excellent work once again. So actually, that was an amazing, smart strategy right there because certain of these foot soldiers have differing life values, and because of that, certain combinations don't work very well.
Yeah, being able to take out that whole group with the slam was probably the optimal choice there in that position.
I would think so. That seemed like the wise thing to do.
There's another really tricky section. A lot of these Stone Warriors here. He's got this bomb box to his advantage, took out that whole group, and he can just run away from these last couple. Let the barrels do the rest of the work for him. Don't know where those barrels are coming from, but we are on to Leatherhead. So this boss will take 3 hits, and he will charge across the screen. So we want to use our 3 best hits to take full advantage of that fact, because we know where he's going to be. So Construct is taking his time with it, using his invincibility frames from his special, and he's just going to keep Leatherhead where he wants him. He's going to fall off, and we are done with the train.
You know what, though? He's got some really good dance moves for being a loser there in Leatherhead by dropping some of those thriller techniques. That was pretty good. That's a good way to go out. Wait, how did we overshoot the year we're in? Well, looks like that's what the Turtles did.
Take advantage of it with one of the best tracks in the game. We also have another good spot for some donations here if we want to get in a couple of shout-outs. This is a great time for that.
All right. Well, I do have one donation to read. I've got $10 from Sage Hero, who says, "Awesome TMNT run so far. Put this toward leaving Richter's girlfriend in Castlevania Rondo of Blood." So that puts Leave ahead at $10 to 0 for save. So if you're a fan of Richter's girlfriend, then get your dollars in. Also, a reminder that the the color bid war for Spyro Year of the Dragon is also coming up soon-ish, and currently green is the only one with any money at $69, and Orsa really doesn't want it to be green. So definitely support our boy too.
Oh, how wonderful, though. All right, here comes some trickiness coming up here. Super Krang is not going to play nice. And since he's going to have to use Donatello here, this is going to turn into a full 2-cycle. And you guys are going to see some shenanigans coming up. There we go, shenanigans.
Already into the shenanigans. So, Conster hoping he can get a couple of quick hits there right at the beginning of the fight, but Krang's having none of it. He's got such quick range that he's very difficult to keep track of. These missiles have a huge hitbox and they'll knock you down immediately. This fight is just a real nightmare if it gets out of hand. This attack here in particular, dropping bombs everywhere, no chance for you to do any damage to him. It's just a wreck. Conster doing a great job of cleaning that fight up. All things considered, Krang is just a nuisance. Regardless of who you ask, they all agree Krang is the worst.
All right, chat. We need you to start getting some guesses going for this next level. The lowest amount of rounds that the Krang fight can go is 3 rounds, but it can go up as high as the number in the sky that you can think of. So feel free in chat to start pandering away with how many rounds you think it's going to take Conster, with Donatello, mind you, to take down Krang.
Yes, this is the biggest source of RNG we have in this whole run, and it is a doozy. This is the place where all good runs come to die. This is the make or break stage. It really throws everything at you. So we're going to see how Conster handles this with our favorite purple turtle.
Oh, and you know what's tough about this one? This level's such a marathon. It's the longest level in the whole game, with the sneakiest boss in the whole game. So
there are so many opportunities for things to go sideways, and Conster's doing a great job of handling all these situations right now. Knowing that the enemies do tend to keep space when he uses that slam, he can buy himself a little bit of time to regroup when the enemies start to surround him.
They're coming out of the chutes now. Let me tell you, when you have a level that is just going to drop enemies from even the sidewalls, I don't know how he stays prepared, but he's keeping focused. It probably was good that he used the smart turtle who knows to brew coffee for every single time he goes out.
In the future, everyone will have freshly laundered ninjas. It's a fact. We've seen it here today.
I'm telling you, I am looking forward to it.
Siberian
Alright.
Bull, thank you for the raid. Alright, Conster into the frozen floor section of the game, and quickly out of the frozen floor section of the game. That is the perfect amount of time to be around the frozen floor. Absolute jerks. And all of the enemies who hang out there are jerks by association.
They know how to use that to their advantage. So you get really stuck in place there, and it's pretty terrible, because as soon as you want to do your next move that you know is going to work, it's already thrown up another freeze. Like, just like this guy with the gun.
Oh, man.
Warriors are given guns. You know you're
Just
in the
pecking at him.
My toe.
The old hot foot.
I don't know. Right now, it looks like... Oh, I was about to say we had the quick foot because he was making quick work of the Foot Clan. But their heavy hitters are keeping Conster at bay for a second or two here.
It's alright, just a couple more of these guys to deal with.
Not bad. He's back on track. Hey, look what's up here. Yeah, baby.
Our good friend, the Super Pizza. That'll make quick work of anything. Gotta watch out for these lasers here, though. I want
That
some of this
actually worked
laser-proof
out.
armor these guys have.
My goodness, he actually got punched while being lasered, so he got iframes from the punch, which did less damage than taking that laser beam. Whew! Almost like he did it intentionally. Alright, fast approaching 1,000 points here for Dom. I don't know if he's gonna have enough time to get that 1,000th point in there.
He's creeping right up on it.
Nice throw. That throws a lot of damage, actually, when you can throw an enemy into another enemy.
Alright, coming up on the worst enemy of the game. Let's see how many cycles it takes us. It's a couple of nice chops there. That's the biggest damage attack that Donatello has. And the biggest aerial attack of any of the turtles in the game. And one quick dead cycle there. Now Krang won't show up again until we get below 2 of these little Roombas here. Still too high to use the standing special. Oh man, this Krang knows how to hurt.
7! 8!
Conster's throwing everything at him. He
And
wants Krang
10.
out of here.
Woo!
We've got a shredder to get to. Krang, please.
All right, folks. I think we're now going to go right back into the correct time and place. It's the best place to finish this type of run. It's back to our favorite year, 1992, when Turtles was on top of its game. And so was Concert. Let's watch the end of this.
Shredder is now Super Shredder, and he has 3 choice attacks. Let's see how Conster handles it. With lots of kicks right to the midsection.
Always go for the big muscly guys right in their midsection.
Using those corner strats and those iframes.
Oh no, my toe! It hurts!
Conster down to his last life. He's got to put the finishing touches here on Shredder before it's too late.
So fast!
We have to save the Statue of Liberty, and he's over. He's gone.
GG! Excellent
Shredder
run.
down. And that is
Excellent.
time. Conster putting down another beautiful run, rocking the Donatello for all of the friends out there. Loving that purple bandana. Good game going out to Conster. The Statue of Liberty is saved, and we get the approving nod there from Splinter, from April, dude jumping in the background.
That was you.
Oh, man. I didn't know you were just gonna call me out like that, but yes, that was me.
You've
That
aged
was me.
well.
For all posterity. And we get an awesome ride here on the old Turtle Blimp. We appreciate everybody who made this game, and we appreciate everybody who came out to support this awesome marathon and watch this great game, and our buddy Conster doing a great run of it. So, thank you so much for everybody who came out to donate. Thank you, General Andrews, for hanging out here and doing some commentary with me. This was a blast.
Oh, this was such a good time. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Conster for rocking the best turtle, Donatello there. Also for making sure to have a little bit of fun with everyone, making us go for an excruciating 10-round Krang match right there. But also, again, the reason why this is happening today is, again, to bring them on over. Thank you to Chelney for having both Dark Alexander and myself. Dark Alexander, thank you for letting me interrupt you over and over again.
It's all good.